What is going on, guys? Chicken Timber Outdoors, and I have another how-to, some Q&A for you guys. Some great questions from subscribers on fishing, so let's get right into them. Alright, first question. What are the best knots to know for fishing? Personally, I would suggest definitely a clinch, an improved clinch, okay, one of the two. If you fish fluorocarbon, a Palomar knot. If you connect lines frequently, either a double surgeons or a blood knot, I prefer blood knot. What else? A uni, double uni. Those are probably the basics to start with. But you need to know your clinch knot, which is also the fisherman's knot. You need to know that knot, like a forward turn. How do you find decent places to go? How can you tell public versus private land, etc.? Posting signs notwithstanding, of course. So, I think personally that your state typically will have public fishing access points. Get familiar with those in your area. For example, in New York, we have the New York Department of Conservation, Education Department of Conservation. They have publicly posted fishing access points, and if you can get yourselves into those, then great. If you have somebody with private land that has a stream, even better. Okay, so make connections, but also do your research online, and also your local, whether it be your Department of Conservation or wildlife, they will also have some information in pamphlets usually. What is my most likely to use fishing rod and reel? Probably my 9-foot 4-weight or a 10.5-foot 3-weight for casting and for nymphing. Let's see. How do you choose the right fly for the time of the year, whether it be spring or summer or early fall or winter? What is hatching, my friend? But rule of thumb for me is that when terrestrials are out, I'm using mostly terrestrials for fun. When it's winter, I'm definitely using probably midges more often than not. And if it's early spring, I'm looking at hatches. Okay? But I have a video on how to choose different flies and how to match the hatch on my channel. Check that out. Let's see. What's the best beginner setup on a budget? Definitely I would recommend a full flex or a mid flex rod. I would personally, depending on the rod manufacturer, I would overline it one line weight and go with a weight forward floating line. That's just my personal preference for teaching casters, new casters, because the rod load's easier. Of the following, which place is the best to spend more money? Rod, reel, line, or flies? Good question. In my opinion, for trout, a reel is just holding your line. So I would say the line, or the reel rather, is the least important. Line can be very important, but it depends on what style of fishing. Rod, I definitely think that having a good casting rod is essential. But for a beginner, no, you're not going to feel the difference between a $100 and a $200, or a $200 and a $400 rod, or a $400 and a $1,000 rod. Okay? So I would definitely say spend a little bit of money on a rod, a little bit on a line, but knowledge on what flies to use is essential, because you're going to get frustrated if you're not catching anything. So I would say divvy your money equally, but pay special attention to the quality of the flies you're purchasing, as well as are they appropriate for the fishing conditions you have. I would actually say out of all of those, spend more money on a guide. They're going to help. They're going to save you so much time learning. All right. Let's see. And for the conventional guys, what are the pros and cons of fishing with a bait caster compared to a spinning reel? This is the last question for today. When fishing with a bait caster, it takes a little while to get accustomed to casting. A spinning reel is usually what people start out with. But what I usually tend to think about is I like the way I retrieve better, the control I have with it spooling, as well as I feel like I'm a little more accurate with my casts. There are other benefits as well. For example, you can have really high line retrieval speeds, reel speeds, like you can get your spool spinning faster, as well as usually they're upgradable. So there's definitely pros and cons. A spinning reel typically allows you to cast lighter gear as well, whereas a bait caster, because of the brakes, and because you're breaking with your thumb, you usually have, if you're going to throw ultralight gear, most guys will go err on the side of a spinning reel, like, for example, finesse rigs. So spinning reel with finesse, baitcaster usually requires a little extra bit of weight. Okay, so that's it for today. Stay tuned because we're going to do these continuously. So if you'd like to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share the video with other anglers, as well as the other videos in the series, okay, and the channel. So until next time, guys, catch you guys on the flip side. Tight lines, and we're out.